once again, everyone, welcome to the Magnet Moves Masterclass. I'm Vinki Loomba, your host for today. I'm so thrilled that you're here after the conference or post-conference. This session is going to be a hybrid experience. Hybrid experience meaning we're going to be using the presentation. We have a short presentation, 4 or 5 slides, because I know some people are visual like me. I understand things better if I visually see it. So we wanted to have a nice fireside chat, as well as we're going to have some slides to show you so that you can take the snapshot in your mind, like these things, how that works. So this is going to be a real playbook actually to how to attract investors, build trust, and launch a high impact events like we did just right now that go beyond multifamily. So I'm pretty sure that by the end of this class, you're gonna walk away with some tangible tactical moves, and then you're gonna be wondering what my next move should be, right? So before we dive in, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a founder of Loomba Investment Group, and also I was a co-host for the Go Beyond Multifamily Summit. I've been in real estate for several years. I started from a single family home, and now I'm in the multifamily space. Actually, my portfolio is pretty diversified. It goes beyond multifamily. I think that's the reason when Kim approached, I thought this was the best idea to run with, and that's what we did. And I love building relations and help people create passive income or build generational wealth. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm going to move on to my beautiful co-host, Kim Lisa Taylor. She's a nationally recognized syndication attorney, and she's a bestseller as well. And let's hear from her what she has to tell us about herself. So Kim, take a minute to introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Kim Lisa Taylor, corporate securities attorney, founder of Syndication Attorneys. We've been in business since 2016, and even before that, I was a partner in a securities firm in California, doing corporate securities work, setting up real estate funds and syndicates, and also business offerings since 2008. So I also have syndicated property. My husband and I had a syndicated multifamily property with friends in Columbus, Ohio for 9 years. And I'm licensed as a real estate broker in the state of Florida, also licensed as an attorney in California and Florida, but our firm is a virtual practice. So we have staff and clients all over the country because everything we do is under federal law. So we're able to help people in any state.
Thank you. So let's move on to our other co-host, Ramesh Thambe. He's our backbone for our marketing needs because with his help, we were able to put this extravaganza, I would say, the whole event together, and it's many, many months hard work. So Ramesh, take a minute to introduce yourself, please.
Hey, thanks a lot, Vinky. Thanks a lot, Kim. First of all, let me say thanks for choosing us to promote your event and put together all the marketing efforts for beyond multifamily. So that's honor and pleasure altogether working with both of you. Talking about ourselves, my name is Ramesh Tambe. I am CEO of Orion Digital. Orion Digital is very specialized agency into the space of capital raising. Precisely, we are working 9 years into this space, worked with more than 500 plus syndications and capital raising and real estate investing companies. We are a team of more than 70 plus professionals. I work very closely with operations of raising, generating leads or marketing strategies or branding or raising a capital in terms of going with a different ideas. So a very close connection with that. Uh, in total, so far we have raised collectively for all of our clients 7 billion. Vinky and Kim, that the number, always raises eyebrows of a lot of people, and they think like how that possible. 9 years, 500 plus syndication clients, I've dealt with even on day in, day out, I speak with many clients on a day-to-day basis. So that is easily possible. Every client has a capital raise close to 100 million and so yearly. So kind of a thing, Kim and Vinky. So that's guys about us.
Thank you so much, Ramesh. And let's get started with our today's presentation. So before we start, I have a few items. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to Ahmed, our team member. He's been working day in, day out, and then he's working even round the clock for us for our event days, post days. He was up all night. So thanks, Ahmed, and he's here with us today as well. So the other thing I wanted to mention is before we get started, we have a small little disclaimer. Ahmed, if you can display that. And also, I would encourage everyone to use the chat to connect with each other and share your comments, questions. And if you have any specific questions throughout the presentation, please use the Q&A. We'll try to address all your questions. And again, I'm going to say that what I say every time, that if we didn't get to your question, please bear with us and send us an email at vinki@loombainvest.com, and we'll send you a reply for sure. Okay, so little disclaimer, this event is strictly for educational purposes and should not be considered as a legal, accounting, or investment advice. And if you have any specific investment related questions or any financial questions, please reach out to your CPA or your attorneys. Thanks, Amir. And can we have our presentation up? Our first slide, like I said, is going to be a hybrid approach. So we're going to use both. Let's see, go to the next one. Next slide, please. One more. Okay, so we're going to talk about our core framework. And in the core framework, what we have learned with this event and multiple other events that we have done, that the positioning is very important. Number two is the curation, engagement, trust, and momentum. So we're going to walk you through all these 5 steps that we have learned from our experience, and how to position yourself in the market, clearly define your theme, your audience, why you're doing this, who you're doing this for, what value you're adding. All these questions needs to be answered. And that's how you create a magnetic field around you. So basically you're becoming a magnet and people are attracted towards you. So I'm going to take you through that journey. So I'm going to be talking with Kim at this time. So Amir, you can take the slide off. So Kim reached out to me back in October, November timeframe, Kim, right? And Kim said, Vinki, let's do a conference together. I'm like, okay, Kim, what do you have in mind? And then I'm going to have her tell you the story. So Kim, please share with us, what was your concept and how did you come up with that idea?
Yeah, so back last year, of course, everything was slow in the multifamily market, and we have a lot of multifamily clients, primarily because we have relationships with several multifamily trainers, and they refer a lot of people to our group. I do some training specifically for private money in for our mentor group, and I have done that for a very long time. So everything was kind of at a lull, and of course we saw a downturn in the businesses because of it, but yet we had quite a few clients that were doing other things and they were still doing deals. And so I thought to myself, well, wouldn't it make sense to share what other people are doing with all of our clients and and followers, and so that they could understand that just because this particular asset class is a kind of in a downturn doesn't mean that everything else is. And so once you get out and you see that other people are actually doing deals in other areas, then it makes sense. And this is how I actually got introduced to the field of real estate investing. Is I originally, a long time ago, went to a thing called Learning Annex, and it was at the Los Angeles Convention Center. There were thousands of attendees there, and they had all these different conference rooms, and every single one had a different asset class and somebody who was teaching people how to buy different things. So, one was self-storage, one might be one of them that stuck in my mind was the guy that was teaching people how to find abandoned mansions. And these people actually forget about these houses, and maybe they inherit them or something, and then go in and rehab them and turn around and make a profit off that. But the one that we actually engaged with was our mentor and bought their home study course, and so that began my real estate journey. So I thought, why not I haven't seen anything like that the whole time that I've been in this world as an attorney. I've only ever seen kind of these single asset training courses and trainers that will teach people how to do stuff. So, and I went to a whole bunch of different ones at one point, but there was never one place where I could, kind of be introduced to them all. So that was my concept, and that's what I shared with Vinki.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming up with this idea. So what I wanted to highlight here is that was the ideation phase. So, she had an idea in her mind, and then she wanted to take an action. That's the most important thing, the action. Because a lot of people, they have idea. I'm going to share a short story over here. Like one of my friends in India, when I came from India, we were in school together. We did our masters together. I got married. I came to US, and he was in India still. And then he always used to say that I have an idea, I have $1 million idea. That's what he used to say. And I'm like, okay, you want to share your idea with me? Maybe we can do it together or something. He said, oh, no, 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 no. I don't want to share my idea. When I'll do something, I'll share with you. So I kept going back to India multiple times. And every time I see him and this idea is still there, right? So it's been 30 years I've been married. I go back to India. The idea is still in his mind. He doesn't want to share with anybody because he thinks people are going to steal his idea. But nothing happened, no action. So what I wanted to highlight is ideation is the number one step in anything, whatever you wanted to do. So Kim came up with this idea, kudos to her, that she had this thing in her mind that she wanted to replicate whatever she saw. And then we brought that into that reality. Right. And I never did a conference on multiple asset classes. I've done multiple conferences. So my thing was, oh, let's run with it. It's going to fly. So the next thing was how to position. Now our why was covered. We had the clarity that we wanted to do multiple asset classes, and we wanted to target the people who are looking for something beyond multifamily, because people are hurting in multifamily, we know that. So they're looking for other avenues, how to generate a passive income or how to learn about other asset classes. So since our portal is all education, so we wanted to teach people that there is multiple other ways you can do the same thing. So our why was clear. We had the clarity of the vision. We knew who we wanted to target our audience. So the next thing was positioning. So positioning, I always lean to my marketing team because I've been working with my marketing team for 7+ years now. So our thing was how to position ourselves. And I'm going to hear Ramesh's perspective over here because he helped me execute the overall branding and positioning for this particular summit. So Ramesh, I would like you to take this on and help us understand what was your take when I came to you, approach you, hey, I wanted to do this conference. So let's create this buzz in the market for us.
Yes, absolutely. I think, Vinky, you quite stated a very well. Kim and you get together. Kim shared her challenge that she is seeing a little downtime into multifamily side. People are not doing deal and kind of a thing. Okay, people basically investors are not choosing multifamily to be invested. That was something was that kind of a traction was happening altogether. So looking at those points precisely Vinky. When I started, you shared across beyond multifamily. So the naming convention of the event is the most important thing. So beyond multifamily, so you are thinking beyond of multifamily. The targeting audience was fixed. It is investors. For the investors, they are looking for something which is apart out of traditional investing, and that they're different type of investing asset classes, which we talked about it. And I think that's how we would like to go from there. So you have good naming convention, the name of the summit, which is the key of a success. Okay. Second is what is a value proposition. What the value proposition look like. So that value proposition that going beyond of a multifamily investing. Okay, we have that several things and setting up with a different speaker highlights. So that was another parameter which was very much important. So value first proposition, okay, taking about specifically tangible takeaways, not just a topic, but actual strategies and attendees could implement that. Consistent visuals, verbal tone, bold and confident, and look brand voice matched with our creative asset, personalized outreaching to the investors specifically. There are all different type of investors, seasoned investors, okay, aspiring investors, okay, real estate investors. Some are a different alternative investment investors. So we were targeting all of them step by step into that particular thing. So Vinky, that's how, like, we would love we pro this, like, position our
Went
brand.
really smooth, right? Yeah, it was a really smooth ride. Like I said, we have thousands of signups and we have 500 plus people who attended our session both days. And we had so many people who bought the VIP recordings, and the recordings are on sale. By the way, recordings gonna be out in a day or so, maybe by the end of the today or tomorrow. We should be sharing the recording logins for everyone, plus Kim's book. And also we have created a digital directory for our VIP so you can connect with the speakers. So we give like whole 9 yard, the whole enchilada to our attendees or the people who we partner with. We have created a WhatsApp community as well. The people can join and learn from each other. You're welcome to join that as well. We'll share that QR code at the end. But Ramesh, I wanted to highlight one thing over here. Everybody does a lot of marketing. And the marketing, I'm a marketing professor, by the way. So I used to teach the MBA class, the executive MBA program. I was all about marketing and I think positioning in the market is very, very important. So I think the two way you can gain traction, either you could be like really, really bad, sucky marketer, like very ugly posts, everything ugly, people are gonna be attracted towards you. I need to figure out who you are, why you're doing this, right? So it's like attraction for people. And the other way is like very high level. You wanted to go beyond what everybody else is doing. So you wanted to stand out in the market. So when I reach out to you, that I told you, like I tell you all the time, create a buzz for me for the next 6 months. It's just, we wanted to see ourselves all over the media. Is either it's going to be Kim or me or our summit. That's it. So what were you thinking? And what do you see other people not doing it correctly or doing it wrong, that they do not get the similar kind of results?
Yeah, I think, we wanted to put this summit as a rare opportunity, not as a common virtual summit or a common webinar. So that was the first thing which came into my thought, that, like, we wanted to represent ourselves very differently. Second is, like, again, I'm going back to that value proposition, that how and what kind of a value proposition we wanted to put forward while doing it. So like, we have a credibility. You were there, we've been, like, as you said, you've been doing this from past 7 years. You have a certain credibility. Kim has a certain credibility. So that really helped out a lot. So that is a warm up, precisely, So we never straight jump into the registration links, that pitching people to go ahead and, like, just start registering for it. It's all about, educating and getting engaged with the audience. That is what our first approach was. And I think, talking about precisely one thing which has made this unique, a lot of people who do summits or event, they just randomly pick up the speakers, 20 random speakers and put forward. We guys have handpicked speakers, who know what exactly they are doing, and they are real result and talking about that. So, one of the big reason that, like, this it is there, we got a real good speaker who has great value to share with the audience. We
That's
have
true.
never we have never over promised anything like this is a life changing insight, you will get it. No, it's never like that. So I think, investors always look for clear value prop. What a clear value prop they're getting beyond multifamily, that is what investors were looking across, and that message we get them very right.
Very
I
across. Yeah. And I
so
agree with you 100% because the transparency is very important. And we've been always, like I said, I've been in real estate for multiple years in the multifamily for last 7+ years. And I'm very, very transparent, whatever I like to do. I like to, under promise, over deliver. That's the rule of thumb for me, basically, because we don't want it to over promise something and show people shiny objects. We are very clear and very, very concise about everything. So the next step is a curation. This is the second piece, which is very, very important. That is often underestimated. It's just not about stacking the big names. It's about the credibility, like Ramesh you mentioned, and the alignment and the flow. And the alignment and flow was very, very important to us for this conference. Like Kim had this certain idea in her mind, and we wanted to make sure that we just cut really close to that idea what she had. So Kim and me, we work really, really hard on curating the speakers. So Kim, remember those long meetings that we have 3-4 hours and handpicking the speakers. So you want to talk about that a little bit, how we pick the right speakers and how we align them and how we want it to be like really, really time conscious. We didn't want to have too long sessions. We wanted to have bite-sized information that's digestible at the same time, people are walking away with like really, really cool takeaways.
Yeah, so I think we did two things. One, we wanted to have people that actually had training programs that they could share with our audience so that the audience who wants to transition into this new asset class would have a clear path to do so. So they could, follow somebody else, because our experience with our clients is that every time somebody comes to us who has a coach, they are far, far more likely to do more deals or go on and do bigger deals than the people who come to us without coaches. And so it's imperative that you get the right training and the right coaches for your first deals in a particular asset class. At some point, you don't need them anymore because you've gotten there, but you still may want to stay with those coaches just because it's a networking opportunity, maybe partnering opportunities. So a lot of people do that. And those that stay connected, that start with a connection and a mentor and stay connected, are the ones that actually succeed. I mean, we have clients that have done 26 deals in their asset class. We have other clients that have done, gone from $5 to $6 million deals to doing $30 to $50 million deals. And that happens over a period of time. It's usually like a 6 to 8 year process. But during that 6 to 8 years, I mean, look into your future. What are you going to be doing 8 years from now? The same thing you are now? Or are you going to be, having 26 deals under your belt, or buying 30 or $50 million properties? You could do that too. So the thing is that if you want to transition into a new asset class, we wanted to bring those specific opportunities to you with sponsors that had those training programs in place. And, for those of you that maybe if you didn't go to the event, absolutely encourage you to go to our website, because you can review all of those offers. Everybody, that's open to the public. You don't have to be a VIP ticket holder to be able to review those sponsors. But if you want to see then all the other people, so the other people that we brought in, we didn't want it to just be 100% sales. And honestly, there's not that many trainers out there training these different things. I mean, we had people talking about development and, that have training programs in development and retail and RV parks and underwriting, all these different asset classes. But the other speakers, we wanted to create some really powerful panels to show you that these are people that are just like you who are actually doing this. Okay. So they're immersed in it. This is their asset class, their target. They've done multiple deals in that asset class. So we called from our client list, from Vinki's contacts. We reached out to people on LinkedIn, even people that we didn't know, but that we knew were in that area. And then we got them all together to share their experience of, why did they pick that asset class? What did they think was the benefits of that? How is it working out for them? So that, all of the attendees could see that and go, well, hey, if these people can do it, then I can do it too. And, well, maybe that does make sense. Maybe I do like that other asset class, and that would be a great thing for me to know. So it's really about, we wanted to make sure that you had the right tools, that all the attendees had the right tools in their toolbox when they left the conference, that they could decide, all right, do I want to engage in a new training program while I'm in this lull with multifamily and maybe learn something else, put a new tool in my toolbox? Or do I want to, maybe connect with or follow with some of these other people that were on the panels, and maybe, maybe either invest with them or co-invest with them and learn that way. So, all of those were the opportunities we wanted to introduce to the attendees. And I think we were really successful in doing that.
Yeah, thank you for saying that and laying it out. I remember that we were seriously overwhelmed with the number of speakers, like how well how well people received our message, because when we decided on the date of our conference, at that time, we started reaching out to the speakers right away. That was the first step that we took. It's like, okay, we are doing this conference, you wanted to join. And trust me, the response was overwhelming. At one point, me and Kim, we were thinking, okay, we do not have enough slots because we slotted only half an hour, whether it was our paid sponsor or just like people joined us just like that because they wanted to share their expertise with us. We did not have any time slot bigger than that, and then we couldn't adjust more people. So at one point, me and Kim were talking, maybe we should extend our event one more day. We can do 3-day event instead of 2 days. And I'm like, oh, no, let's wait. Let's bring all the speaker next time. Because I do that a lot of time. Last year, I had few speakers. Again, it was a huge response. We saved them for this summit. They aligned with this summit better than the last year. So we used them at this time. So that was really good. And the other thing also I wanted to highlight is we're going to have master classes with all our keynotes and all our key speakers. For example, David Lindahl and also Bob Bowman. We can have an hour-long master class for each one of them. You're welcome to join, where they're going to show us how to invest in RV, for example, or how to use a commercial underwriter, how to underwrite a deal. So it's just going to be like really in-depth understanding, and watch out for our communication on that. And you're all welcome to join us, all free. We're not going to charge anything because we just wanted to add value to others. So the next one, next up in our slide was the trust. Trust is really a big one, because if you lose trust with your investors, with your partners, with your operators, sponsors, even in your marketing team, maybe it could be a small thing like you using the wrong language, or maybe body language, or some sloppy disclosures, if you come to the legal, all that, that's just gonna break things for you, not make it. So we are very, very vigilant about that. And Kim is like our legal go-to person, for all the marketing needs, or even reaching out to people, or building all these contracts with people. So Kim played a huge role in that. So Kim, you wanted to share with us how legal is so important. Just take like me, 30 minutes or 30 seconds or 1 minute to share. Even posting something, how important is it to be SEC compliant?
Yeah, you need to be sure. And so this was true of our event, because we didn't want to mislead anybody into thinking this event was something that wasn't, whether it was one of our speakers, or whether, a sponsor, or whether it was the attendees. We wanted everybody to be very clear on what the messaging was, and what we were trying to accomplish, and what that we felt that they would get out of the event. And it's the same exact message that we give our clients in our ad review and ad compliance programs, is to help them understand that you have to be clear in your messaging. You cannot be vague. Securities rules require that you cannot misrepresent or omit material facts that would confuse people, so that they wouldn't understand either what you're talking about, or they wouldn't understand what the value in it was for them. So it was just as important for us, and we had many back and forth discussions about that, Vinki and I, about how to say things in emails, in social media posts, on our website, just making sure that we were extremely clear about everything we were doing. And for our clients, we also need to make sure that they have the right disclaimers. So whatever ads they're sending out, they have to have the right disclaimers. And we did that too, with the website, with the with all of the information that we were sending out. So compliance and making sure that you're clear in your messaging, and that you're not misrepresenting, not omitting material facts, is so clearly important. And not promising. You cannot promise results, because you don't know. I mean, your results depend on what you do after the event. If you do nothing, then you're not going to have any results. But if you take action, you decide to follow one of our sponsors, you decide to connect with some of the other speakers, and you follow up through on that, and actually do some deals, well, then you're going to have results. So that's kind of my messaging on that. Just always be very, very clear, even with the name. Like, we were clear in the name of the event, like Ramesh said, how important it is to be clear about what it is your message. And we went back and forth on that a lot of times too, didn't we, Vinki?
That's true. And then I wanted to tell you a funny story regarding that too, because there's always something funny that happens, or something like really you feel like, oh, you dropped the ball here, what's going to happen next kind of thing. So this happened to us when we were thinking about the summit. We wanted to have our summit name expand multifamily, expand beyond multifamily summit. So we went there, we bought the domain name and everything. And some odd reason that name disappeared when we were ready to launch our website and everything. So the last minute, we had to go kind of find another domain name, go beyond multifamily. But thanks to my team, to Ramesh and Kim being so fluid and was willing to change right away. So we changed from expand beyond multifamily to go beyond multifamily. I mean, you can still see our folders. A lot of our folders still say expand beyond multifamily, but we changed it. So I think that's what makes the team to gel when you're fluid. You're not stuck up. It's not like one is going north, one is going south. Things does not happen like that. You have to be very, very fluid. And then you need to fill in for each other, because it's like by the end of the day, if you can see, it's going to be one man show, but it's a team underneath that. Because Kim, me, Ramesh, and our team, Amir and Sagar, whosoever helped me, we were like one person, like one thought, and taking that thought from ideation all the way to completion. And that's what we did. And the next step, I mean, before I go to the next step, I wanted to talk about the sponsors that Kim said. And sponsors are really, really important, because that's where you're monetizing. And when you're monetizing your event, you're going to feel like doing it over again. You're going to put a lot more hard work. There's going to be much more interest in that. So our sponsors are like very repeat sponsors for us, because we hold their hand again from ideation to completion all the way. We do not drop the ball. We make sure they are highlighted throughout the event, and post event too. We do the master classes with them. We do the podcast with them. We just help them get the visibility, whatever they're looking for. And then this takes like whole year, trust me. 6 months, we are advertising them. Okay, they're our sponsors. And post event, we again advertising them, because we're doing the master classes with them, or we're doing podcasts with them, or we're doing multiple other things with them. By the time the year passes and the next event comes, and they come back and sponsor again, because they get a lot of value from us. So which is very, very important. So the last but not the least, our last step was the momentum. So you never wanted to lose the momentum, whatever you're trying to do. And that was really important for us. That's where I see most people drop the ball. They did this nice, amazing event. People clap. They showed so much love. By the end of the day, then what happened? Silence, cricket, missed opportunities. But the real, I think, capital flows after the event, because it's like, again, the positioning, how you position yourself, how you're reaching out to people. Maybe you're selling the recordings, making new connections. So you need to have a whole funnels set up. The whole your marketing team is going to play a big role in that. So I'm going to have Ramesh enlighten us. So what we are doing now post summit, all the leads that we got and how we are nurturing those leads, what is going to be our step to help them, get to the right deals, whatever they're looking for, and then also give them the strategic vision beyond multifamily.
Yeah, absolutely, Vinki. Before I answer that question, I just want to touch one point, Kim and Vinki. Even the first name was, expand beyond multifamily. But see, the one word, go beyond multifamily, it has tremendous effect. Go has created, a kind of attraction. It's a one word, go. It had changed the entire meaning. It had changed the entire traction of the, summit. And that's what I wanted to really resonate and wanted to pass on to everyone who is here into this, today's masterclass, that one word even create a bigger impact in your messaging, in your naming convention, everything change around of that. So that's how, go beyond multifamily had changed our traction, getting so much of registration. And as we said, the attendance was close to more than 500. Kim and Vinky. So going back precisely, to the question, Vinky, yes, I think there is a much more there's a half work done. The half work need to be done across. So there is distribution of a event reply link with limited time access, conduct post-event surveys to gather feedback and identify the hot leads, survey key sessions highlight and speaker quotes via email and social media, launch a podcast mini series as that is one of the important thing, featuring summit speaker in a short podcast series diving deeper into the key important topics and discussing during the event. Again, launch a summit challenge program, maybe a 14 days of a email challenge post summit that walks attendees through actionable step to apply what they learned. Okay, host a VIP or exclusive question and answer session with a top speaker for engaged attendees who have engaged most of the entire event. Launch a segmented email follow-up sequence based upon attendees and engagement levels as well. Post summit, ask me anything AMA. That's a phenomenal thing to go about it. Publish a case studies or success stories driven from this virtual summit altogether. Short video clips and reels. That's very basic about every session and every event. It's ongoing on a social media. Okay, testimonial and attendees feedback to build out, which we specifically have, Kim, which we put across in many group. Run retargeting ad campaign aiming the people who have registered but didn't attended that live event. Okay, we can retarget them and get into the this funnel again back. Okay, send what you missed, personalized recaps to the audience that make huge impact. Again, invite attendees to join private communities and mastermind group, which we are doing, Vinky, right now. Publishing blog post and article expanding on our popular submit topics. Okay, and announcing upcoming events, webinars, and fund launches, leveraging the summit momentum. So we are not dropping the ball here itself. There are many things which we are going to put it across, and that will keep momentum going and pulling people or carrying with the similar energy, Kim and Vinky. So this n number of a thing can create a huge amount of attraction, Kim and Vinky, to the to the sponsor, to the attendees, to the registration who have not registered but not attended, so they can see a lot of value moving on. So we are
Yeah.
not dropping one single point. We are touching with each and every small point, Vinky and Kim.
Yeah, because we need multiple touch points anyway. So let's move on to the questions because there's some questions in the audience. And the first one is John Cody was asking, this might be in the slides, high level breakdown of the numbers to put some shape on the marketing. No need to give away any trade secrets, a bit of orientation about duration, numbers, produce, etc. So let me answer that. Excuse me. And you guys can chime in. This one, I think we started about 6 months ago. Me and Kim, we started talking back in October, November, but we started our effort sometime in January. It took us about 6 months, 5.5, 6 months to put this event together. And our target reach was huge. And then we got close to, I think, 1,500 signups. And then we had our previous signups before there. That makes way over 2,000 people. And then also, what else? The marketing, what shape the marketing is like our brand messaging, I think. And then the attendees count, I already mentioned we had 500 plus attendees in both days. So Kim and Ramesh, did I miss anything or you wanted to add something?
Kim, would you like, or let me know? I'll take it up.
I let you guys handle the numbers.
Yeah. So I am the most important, as you said, Vinky, it's always better to have higher number of registration, more than 1,000 plus registration. That is a number. Timeline, I think 6 months, yes, from a day, 6 month consistent hard effort, and then the automation, texting reminders to each of those registration people who have registered for that. We have kept a very close eye on that, and out of that, we said more than 500 plus people have attended collectively on both of the days. Mm, Talking about messaging and what specifically work out for us is, I think, a constant messaging on each and every platform. We have never drop out any single platform. As Vinky said, Facebook group, WhatsApp group, LinkedIn group, emailing, messaging, texting, then again, I think, so all the majority of a channel we touch base with, okay, sent out a constant and similar message. And we also took a bit of help of the, the people who speakers are the most, like, again, they played a big role. Getting a speaker in into the and promoting via speaker as well has created a bigger impact on that.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, that's the next question actually from John Corey again. Did the speakers, any type of mail their list? If so, how did the speaker pre-motions work, or the promotions work, I should say? I have heard that most speakers are weak at cross promotions, so the work falls almost entirely to the summit host. I would say yes and no, because what happened is this is like how you're trying to engage your speakers. That's very important. So we were kind of on top of that. We were trying to reach out our speakers, and then we're trying to engage with them, and then asking them, okay, produce your videos, do this, because it's very important for the speaker to understand that this is not just our event, it's their event too, because they are getting highlighted and they are getting promoted in this event. So you need to give them clarity right there and then that, this is your event, you are getting shine through this event. So if you miss on that, yes, definitely, people are going to slack. But the other thing is we just provide our speakers with the scripts, with the graphics, with the email templates. We give them all the templates, the whole 9 yard. We do not tell them, hey, go do it yourself. That's never going to happen. So that brings to our next question from John Corey. When should someone use them? I'm sorry, go ahead, Kim.
I would like to add to that, and I would just say that Ramesh said the messaging was consistent and constant. I would like to say relentless, right?
Yes. Yes.
Relentless, reminding the speakers, please, 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 here's the messaging again, here's the artwork, here's the emails, and also having them sign an agreement that says, if you want to speak at our event, you agree to do this, and you're going to send out, so many messages to your social media and so many messages to your group. So once people, sign that agreement, then they feel honor bound to be able to do it. And so most of them do. And some of them, maybe they just don't have the capability, or they don't have a well-developed list or something like that because they're fairly new in the industry. Well, that's just going to happen. But those that did, they brought a lot of people that we wouldn't have had access to by just sharing it with their group. Hey, I'm going to be speaking at this event. It's a big deal. You should go.
That's true. Yeah, no, I agree on that 100%. And I think you need to have the clarity, the clear communication with everybody who's joining the summit as a speaker, that we are highlighting you at the same time. You have to help yourself, basically. So by doing these promotions, they are helping themselves, because they are creating a thought leadership platform for themselves, because they are putting it out, hey, I'm speaking at the summit, and we are creating the graphics for them that showed that, hey, I'm speaking at the summit. So that's really a big thing, because when they post something like that on the social media, their whole community is gonna be like, oh, wow, you're part of this big summit. So this is just like giving them the clarity or the space to grow, basically. And that's what we did. And now let's move on to the next question before we go through our presentation. When should someone use a marketing agency to handle the promotion versus when a small company can do most of the work in-house? How should a real estate investor looking to build a list think about marketing versus sticking to their core competence, real estate? So this question is for you, Ramesh. I'm going to let you handle that.
Yeah, I think, a good question, first of all. So I think, first, it's as you have to define what is the objective you want to achieve out of this summit precisely. What is the outcome you are aiming for? Are you aiming for 1,000 plus registration, 2,000 plus registration? How many sponsors you are looking to get sponsor your event, kind of a thing. And this event is for whom? And all those factors. Once you define those number, then you can do the reverse math basically. So it's always a reverse. What you want to achieve, according to that you have to plan. So you wanted to achieve, obviously 6 months early you can start. And when you have an in-house team of a marketing, but obviously people who have done event marketing and in-house marketing team who haven't done the event marketing is a different ball game. There are many small things which specifically event marketing team can does, and who knows that's normal marketing team doesn't know. Event marketing is altogether different. There are many things involved into it, from that event planning last moment if something went, playing that, Vinki playing the way Amir play across a different the backgrounds and the music and intros and all those things. That cannot be done by any any marketing intern or a marketing team which is out there, because you really need to have established experience while doing this. There are many technical things which need to be implemented before this event to go across, because it's not just we see today go beyond multifamily is a very success and great event, okay, but there is a lot of hard work, there is a lot of technical things has been implemented from marketing to technical aspect, making sure each and everything is happening and putting into the places. So I think no, this is not been done by internal marketing team for sure. You have to have an experienced marketing team who know about how to do event marketing. When we started, Pinky, you know that I think probably this is our 15th or 18th event. Before this, when we did first event, Kim and Vinky, trust me, that was a learning curve for us. Okay, very learning curve. We were not knowing BOGOs, we were not knowing what challenges we can face. Last moment there are very dropout in speakers as well, somebody don't show up, so what happened in that particular moment, what could be the marketing message look like, what how the internal, once the summit is started, inside, how to keep that entire audience engaging, what kind of a polls to be done across. Meanwhile, there are many things, and
Yeah.
people who are not experienced, they cannot do this. It's as simple as it is. So, if you want to do something, you always go with expert. Neither you go with a person who don't know, but he just knows something. So this is like, you are planning something where the person is first or he's doing his job first time. So I will never suggest that, honestly. So that's the answer for first. Yeah.
To add to that, that I actually tried to do an event before I engaged Vinky, and it was a few years ago. And it was with another well-known speaker, and we both had a pretty good database of people, and we tried to use it with our own internal marketing people. We ended up canceling the event because it was like 4 days before the event, and we only had 12 signups, and
Oh my.
it just totally didn't work. And so I don't recommend that at all. The experience that I had working with Vinky and working with Orion was so far different. I mean, because they take this stuff so seriously. The reason I went to Vinky in the first place is, I've known her for a long time. She's a client. And also I knew that she had success doing these events before. And I can even say that I've been a speaker at so many different events where I do feel like they tried to do it internally with their own marketing team. And I would be speaking and there would be like maybe 5, 10, 15 people on the call, versus, hundreds of people on the calls. So the difference between using a professional marketing team that actually knows how to promote events specifically and has learned from all these prior experiences is far different than trying to do it alone. If you just want to have 20, 30 people at your event, sure, go it alone. But if you're trying to do some big event where you want to attract thousands of people, you need to have an event marketing team that understands what they're doing. Absolutely. And
That's
I was so impressed with Orion and what they did that we actually hired them to be the marketing team for our law firm. So, that was like midway through the whole process because these guys know what they're doing and they've such
Yeah,
professional.
thank you. Thank you, Kim. Thanks for saying that. I wanted to add one more thing to it because I remember I try to do 2 to 3 events every year if I can do that, because it's like my thing is I wanted to add value to others around me. I think that's the best way we can do it because we bring the best buy side information and then we create the connections for people. Basically, I'm a connector, because we bring all the speakers to one portal and then we create a digital directory that we give it to our VIPs. Oh yeah, the event that I did last year, somebody approached me and they said, okay, you wanted to do one event with me. And they were like already underway their event, and their event was like 4 weeks away or 6 weeks away. And their registration count was only 200 at that time. 200 or 250, and they like, oh, can you join hands with us? I'm like, definitely, I would love to join hands with you. So we did that event with them. And my first thing was that we wanted to extend the timeline. I don't want it to work with you only for 4 weeks or 6 weeks. Let's put it out another 6 weeks event. So the event got postponed to 12 weeks. So 12 weeks later, we had like 1,400 registrants for that event. Can you believe that, going from 200 to 1,400 within the 6 or 8 week timeline more that I asked for? And that was a like really, really, again, huge event, very, very eventful. And then again, I'm going to say kudos to the marketing team that we work with. And it really helped us to do that. But again, marketing team comes in a big play when you have the vision, when you have the dream, and then marketing team comes in, they just fill in colors into your dream, basically. So that's the reason it's very important to have your why, how, who, all these questions answered before you wanted to do anything, even you wanted to start your capital raising.
Add one thing, and that is that if you're going to do your own event, just be prepared. I was not prepared for the amount of time that was going to be required for this. And I know that, I was kind of peripherally involved because I'm running a law firm. So there's only so many hours in the week that I can actually devote to this. But I would say from the beginning, as soon as Vinki committed to this, for her, it was a half-time job, and then it became a full-time job. And she was working on it like, for the last several weeks. She's like, I have canceled every other thing on my schedule. This is the only thing I'm working on. And then I was trying to join her whenever I could. It was a tremendous, tremendous amount of work. So if you are going to join hands with her, just first of all, realize the amount of work she's going to do, but also she's working in constant communication daily, multiple times a day with the Orion team, and they're working on it, constantly as well. And so it's a huge commitment on their part of staff and resources and people that are, constantly, updating this and updating that and adding these, new things and new channels and just keeping the momentum going. And, so if you're going to join hands with, say, Vinki and Orion to do these types of events, just realize there's going to be a significant time commitment on your part as well. And so you either need to be able to devote the time to it. And I'm saying like 5 or 6 hours a week from the beginning, when you start that 6-month time frame, all the way out to maybe at the end, you're doing 10 or 12 hours a week, just getting ready, just coordinating and doing all of that. And just, giving the team what they need to be able to keep the momentum going and to continue to realize your vision. So just be prepared for that. Have that person on your team that's designated to coordinate with them and get that done, and give them the authority to make those decisions about, anything that the event team needs to keep the momentum going. So it is a huge time commitment. Just be prepared.
That's true. And that's not even like Kim said, 10, 15 hours. I think it's many, many countless hours that we spend as a team together, because I think it takes time to bring your vision to reality, basically. And then you wanted to add something, Ramesh? I saw you raise a hand. Mhm.
I want to, obviously, I think, big thank and big, big shout out go to Vinky and Kim. I think, the amount of energy and work back and forward you have put across, that is really commendable. As Kim said very well, every another day, rather every day, we were having a call with Vinky, back and forward on those days. So, as Kim, you said, very correctly, she has put a lot of amount of her work into it, and that's the reason, this has really came out great. So that is what Vinky, I wanted to add on.
Thank you
Definitely.
so much for saying that. So let's come to the fun part, the engagement strategies, which are really, really important, and during the 2 days. And our engagement strategy was, number one, was we always keep the chat open, because we feel like we are not, actually, I'm not, or I think my team, Kim and Ramesh, I can vouch for them. We are not like a limited mindset. We are not set. We are just like very open abundance mindset. We just open to everybody. We wanted everybody to connect. We want you to form the partnerships or relationships, during the conference, through the conference, beyond the conference. That's the reason we open up multiple channels for everyone. So the chat was open for everyone. And then Kim, you want to talk about the chat? So I'm going to let Kim talk about that.
During the event, it's really important that you have somebody who can actually police the chat, because we did have an instance where there was somebody who had registered for the event and then started spamming. And so, once we were able to recognize that, we were able to address that. And, unfortunately, we had to remove them from the event. But then we also had a WhatsApp group. So there were kind of two purposes. The purpose of the chat that was open during the event when the speakers were talking and when we were having these, sessions one right after another, the whole purpose of that chat was for them to engage with the speakers and the sponsors and with us about the event itself and how it was going and questions they had about the event. But then we had also set up, and this was brilliant on Vinki's part and Orion's part, they set up a WhatsApp group so that if people wanted to be able to share contact information, talk about what they were doing, and really start networking, exchanging information, and getting to know other people, then they could do that in the WhatsApp group. And again, we had to police that at the same time because that same person was spamming over there as well. And that's not the purpose of it. You need to make sure that the engagements are appropriate both in the chat itself and also in the WhatsApp group. And helping remind people, look, this is what this chat is for, this is what that chat is for, and letting them know, because people are joining and leaving throughout the day, and they didn't hear what was said in the morning, so we just kind of have to remind them throughout the day, hey, use this chat for this, and then if you want to go network, go over there, but please don't spam. And so you do have to have someone on your team who's constantly looking at that and watching it and just helping police it. So super important.
That's true. That's very important. And then my thing is, I learned this creating the communities a long back. So wherever I used to go make friends with people, I used to create this small WhatsApp group. So I'm part of like multiple WhatsApp groups because I always form a WhatsApp group, and we started doing with our conferences too when I started stepping into conferences. So we do that. So each conference we have a WhatsApp group going on, and which is really helpful because people can, and get the communication going post-conference as well. So I think let's talk about the constant flow as well, since we were talking about the chat, and then Kim can again vouch for that because our flow was such a flow. I'm going to say that because we were like in such a flow state. It was flowing so smoothly, one session after another, and it was done purposely. A lot of people were reaching out before the conference and during the conference to what is the agenda, what is the agenda, where is the agenda. We purposely do not publish our agenda. And I know Kim asked me too a couple of times, we should publish the agenda, but from my previous experience, I have learned for the virtual conferences, we purposely do not publish our agenda. We just give a sneak peek to people because all of our sessions are bite-sized, like half an hour, 20 minutes, like that, or maybe 40 minutes the max. So it goes by very quickly. Speaker come and the next speaker comes, and we purposely do not have many break sessions either. So what happened is you just roll in smoothly to the next session, and that's the reason we do not post the agenda. But now we do that post conference. We have our agenda on our website. You can go check out all the different sessions that we had. And if you didn't buy the VIP tickets, the VIP tickets, are looking for recordings, you're welcome to do so because it's still available for anybody and everybody out there. So I'm gonna ask Kim, what happened to your mastermind yesterday? People were asking about the same thing, right? The agenda and the total flow of the conference. If you can share that with us.
They were saying, I don't usually sit around on a Saturday and do a real estate thing because I have a family, but every time I wanted to go, it's like the next panel would come up and it's like, oh, I want to hear what they have to say, and I don't want to go and I don't want to leave. So they just said I ended up being glued to the chair the whole day because there was so much happening and it was happening so quickly that you didn't have time to leave and join and leave and join. You just had to be there. And Vinki and I went from one session right to another with no breaks. We traded off and on whenever we could, but sometimes she would have to do 2 or 3 sessions back to back, or I would, and it'd just be like the speakers are waiting, they're waiting in the queue. You can see them there. You're finishing up your first session. It was critically important for us to keep track of what time and that we were on the schedule. Because we knew we had so many other people and we couldn't keep all those speakers waiting and waiting when they were were joining early to be on time for their sessions. And we had so much great engagement too. All of our speakers showed up. We didn't have anybody that just didn't show up. Out of like 60 people.
60 plus speakers. Yeah. Only one speaker, I think, for the hotelier session, the last session on day 2. So one of our speakers, he had some glitch. He joined and then he dropped. He couldn't join back. So I sat in Kim's session, and Kim was so nice. She was able to manage with 2 people only. She just geared the question to the 2 speakers only. I was just kind of filler. I was just filling the spot. So the video looks good, basically. That was the whole thing. But I think these are the little hiccups you can always see in these big events like that. So I wanted to, at this point, I'm going to ask Amir. Amir, can you share one more time the presentation? There's one slide that will give you the whole from conception to completion. How should people approach, whether you're trying to raise capital or go ahead. One more. This is our learning lesson 2. One more. I think we addressed all that already. This one. So I think it's like basically a flywheel in action. Whether you are a capital raiser or a syndicator, operator, whatever position you're in, you're creating a magnetic field for yourself. And this magnetic field is just like basically a magnet flywheel for you. The number 1 is positioning that we talked about earlier. Positioning fuels your credibility. So you're creating a thought leadership platform, you're creating a credibility in the market for yourself. And then when you're credible, when you have the credibility, it sparks engagement because people are going to start engaging with you. They're going to start reaching out to you. You're going to start making connections with people. And when that engagement deepens, it's going to create trust relationship. And you know what happens when people trust you? That accelerates your capital flow. People are going to start investing with you. They're going to trust you. They're going to trust the way you're doing things. And then once you are raising good capital is going to feed another positioning for you because you're going to feel so confident. You're going to be so strong about your positioning. You're going to come really, really strong in whatever you're doing. So the reason I wanted to have this slide, because I wanted you to kind of screenshot that in your mind, in your memory. So this is the flywheel approach that you should take no matter where you are in your life, because this is going to be kind of universal thing, and it's going to be applicable in each and every field. And do we have anything else after this? Amir, can you share on the next slide? So these are the final tips. Positioning and marketing, number 1. Legal positioning and trust, that's very, very important. And then the follow-up momentum. I think we covered all 3 takeaways for you. These are the strong takeaways for everyone. If you have any questions for us, please feel free to put it in the Q&A, and we can answer that for you right now. I think there's one question. When should someone, I think we already answered that one. No marketing need. Okay, that's fine. And then Kim and Ramesh, anything else that you wanted to add beside this presentation?
I think the only thing that we didn't really talk about that was part of the event and it was really important to the event was having gifts. So we got each of the sponsors to provide a gift that was raffled off to our VIP attendees. And I think that was fun and that was important. And, so some people got access to some of these programs for free just by, signing up to be a VIP. And, and it's such a small commitment, that $97 just to get access to be the VIP, which then gives you access to the recordings after the event. And, I think that that was really important. Okay. The other thing that was really important was the post-event networking, because, if you've ever been to a live event, I've never been to a virtual event where people were still so engaged after the day was over. All the other ones is like, okay, that's it. We're done. And then this one, people didn't want to leave. They were just so immersed and so excited about what they'd heard all day long. They just wanted to be there for the networking afterwards. And, it was late for me because I was at that point on the East Coast time, and we were doing this from 8 to 5 or 8 to 6 on the Pacific time. And then the networking sessions would even go longer than that. Finally, I think the last one, I'm like, okay, I gotta go to bed. I'm sorry. But
that's true. I know. And day 2, we stayed really long, really late, because there was multiple people. I think we were there till 8 or 8:30 p.m. It was really long. And thanks, Ali. Ali was in Europe, and then he was still networking with us from there. And we told him so many times, go spend time with your family. He's like, no, you guys are more important. We love you, Ali. I think that was the whole event was so much fun. And then we built new relationships, and then a lot more connections. And like I said, the recordings are still available. If you wanted to join, I put the link in the chat, you can do so. And also with the recordings, you're going to get the free ebook. We're still going to offer that. And also, you're going to get all the contacts for our speakers. We have a digital directory created, and it's going to be available for everyone as well. So you're welcome to do so if you wanted to do that. Go ahead.
In the bonus session. So we actually had 4 different events, 4 different pre-recorded sessions. We just didn't have time to show during the event. And one of that, one of the ones that I helped bring in was John Chang, who is the vice president of research at Marcus & Millichap. And he's a big deal speaker. He did a whole analysis for us of what the non-multifamily commercial market is going to be doing this year. So that's critically important. If you are a VIP, make sure you go and watch these the bonus sessions. And I think Vinki brought in Brian Burke, who's raised millions and millions of dollars, talking about capital raising and his tips and strategies. Then we also talked about a new book that our firm has put out called How to Legally Raise Capital for Startups and Small Business. With our business team. So we actually have created a business team that's going to support those efforts now. We have 2 attorneys in that realm, one that's taken over 100 companies public. But we're really just, kind of expanding into that market with the expertise that we've built and the trust and credibility that we've built in the real estate industry as well. So that, and then Vinki, she and I did a really great interview, which was kind of her behind the scenes and her perspective on how the event went. So, I can't say enough about how exciting it was to be part of this. And, after it's over, you're just kind of in this like glow, you're this post-event glow, and it takes you a few days to come down from, the endorphins and the high of just being in that event. But it just went so smoothly, thanks to Orion, thanks to Vinki's effort for, coordinating that. And thanks to Amir, who I think stayed up for like 72 hours straight in order to help us run this event, and Sagar his relief, because they're like 19 hours different than we are, so they were, it was the middle of the night for them, and they were running this event for us, and I think even during an Indian holiday. So we can't thank them enough for the
That's
second.
true.
Vinki, Kim, but probably I'll say one thing over here, like, this go beyond is a memory, one thing which could remember for 2025. So it could be a go beyond multifamily. I believe for you, Kim, I believe for you, Vinki, because it has been a fantastic event so far. As you said, it's a post-event glow, Kim. That's how I take that up. And yes, I think, it's a teamwork again, Kim, Venki, it's a teamwork. You strongly help out us, you believe in us, you trusted us, you were there, it's never like, this has been done, so you guys can take care or kind of a thing. It's as a team we have worked, so that's the output of this teamwork entirely, what I can say, Kim and Venki, it's all teamwork and team efforts, and that's why we are so successful with Go Beyond,
Yeah.
precisely.
Yeah, I agree on that 100%. It's always one person can go only so far, like I say all the time. It's the team that takes you to the end and get you the end results. So our magnet moves poll shows us most people are voting for positioning. And I agree with you guys too. Positioning is very important, how you position yourself. And, and once the positioning is right, that's what's gonna do wonders for you. Basically, you're gonna just sit back and see the magic happening. I use this, it's pretty cliche, but I use this sentence all the time. I say this all the time that, once you have all the ducks in the row, you just sit back and see the magic happening for you. And that's what is happening for me exactly right now. And I'm super happy for that. And then I get to partner with, like top-notch industry leaders like Kim, and then my marketing team. I came from the corporate world. I was a corporate executive for multiple years, also an academia professor, like I mentioned before. I was MBA professor and in IT domain. So I was so new to real estate, but I saw people doing this small little networking sessions here, there, or webinars. And then my first thing was, I'm reaching out to Kim, can we do one webinar together? And she was like such a supportive person. She didn't think that I was new to the industry. She's like, yeah, I would love to support you. And that's how we started. And then just get off. It's so many years now. Again, so fluid with each other, so much respect for each other. I never feel any friction or any kind of stress when I work with her. And I hope the same for you. So there's a lot of stickiness basically in our relationship. That's the way I'm gonna put it.
And we have one more follow-up that we have not shared with the audience, and that is that Vinki and I have embarked on a new project together, and that is to create a book about, probably called the same thing. Their working title is Go Beyond Multifamily. I had started interviewing people on my podcast about 6 months before we even started thinking about this event, that we're doing these other asset classes. And then now we have all this information that we can integrate from, the knowledge of the speakers and sponsors that did participate. So we want to be able to, kind of put this all together in a book that, talking about each different asset class, sharing the wisdom from the people that have been in that industry, and, getting it out there to all of you. So that's great. By the way, Paul, thank you so much. Paul says Kim's mastermind group is one of the best investments I've ever made. Thank you for all of you. Well, thank you so much, Paul, for saying that. Yeah, we do have a mastermind group where we weekly have 60 to 90-minute sessions led by one of our attorneys, often me, often one of our other attorneys, where we, just kind of talk about all the impediments and barriers that you have to raising capital and how to overcome them. Also participating in that and hosting that group is Krisha Young, who's our client success coach and business development director. And I do want to give a shout out to her because she did play a role in this event too. She helped us coordinate and, get the message out to a lot of our sponsors. And I know she put a lot of her efforts and heart into this as well. So just, want to say that she did a great job as well. And, it was like Ramesh said, it was a
Success.
team effort all the way around. And then Vinki and I are thinking about doing a fund together. So that might be something that you see from us in the future. One success breeds another. And, we just need to keep it going.
I think I
Yeah,
would like
go
to
ahead.
add to that fund come to me for a marketing can believe how the magic can happen on capital raising for that particular fund. So I would love to do that, Kim and Winky, for both.
Definitely.
Well,
Definitely. We are not going anywhere, Ramesh. You are our go-to person always, and then also wanted to mention that I'm launching a capital raising program soon. By the way, for Kim's offer, I have added in the chat if somebody wants to join Kim's mastermind program. So go to our gobeyondmultifamily.com/offers. I put it in there. So you're welcome to join. And I think Kim is very generous. She'll give you the same price, whatever we offered at the event. So please feel free to join because that way you can mastermind with the legal team. I know I wanted to join every week. Sometimes I miss it, but whenever I join, I get the serious golden nuggets are shared over there. And I won't trade it for anything, because even if you go hire an attorney, they're going to charge you by hour, like $1,000, $500. And here you're getting all the advice for Kim right there.
yeah.
So, yeah.
People gain confidence so that they can go out and confidently speak to the investors, and so, you use Orion to help you get that message out digitally, but we're going to help you when it comes to those face-to-face conversations, whether it's on the phone, on Zoom, or in person. We're going to help you have that confidence that you know what your structures are supposed to be, how they work, what the benefits are for your investors, so you can explain it to them, and you understand what securities exemptions you're following and what the rules are, so you don't feel like, oh gosh, can I say this, right? And so you just feel confident. No, I know how to do this. I'm going to do it. And anyway, so thank you so much.
Yeah, and then also I'm gonna be our capital raising program is gonna be launching soon. It's gonna be AI based. Amir, can you put the link in the chat for people to sign up? It's like for the wait list, you can sign up. There's no fee to sign up. So whenever the program is launched, you're gonna be the first one to know, the first dips on the program. So it's gonna be out soon. So basically, you're gonna be raising capital on autopilot. A lot of AI tools gonna be there. You're gonna see how amazing it is. It's gonna mitigate all the gaps. Even the legal gaps gonna be mitigated in that too. So like I said, it's a great partnership with Kim and Orion. Ramesh, actually, he's my good friend for many, many years. And this partnership is gonna go a long way, and you're gonna see many, many more things transpire with this partnership, So please do that, and please stay tuned for our more master classes. We're gonna bring it to you, and a lot more knowledge. Again, like I said, we don't charge anything. We just like to add value because that's the mindset we have, and we love to partner with you on anywhere, wherever you like to meet us. At that point, we'll come and meet you and shake hands with you. And if you don't have anything else, Kim or Ramesh, I think we should call it a day. It's a 90-minute masterclass today, which was pretty amazing. And I'm going to ask my audience if there's any questions for us, please go ahead and use the Q&A box now. We're going to allow maybe 30 seconds more for you guys to ask any more questions. Thank you, Abby. She says, you guys are great. Thank you for being real. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
The calendar says there will be future episodes. Is that true?
That's true. Yes. Now, there's once a month, we have a wealth building class where we bring in good speaker. We learn the wealth building tips and tricks. So that's going to be ongoing. It's every third Thursday of the month. So please join. And other than that, we're going to have a master class with our sponsors. They're going to come and teach us whatever the things that they have learned from their experience. And I know from my experience that that's the best way to learn, when you're learning from others' experience, not just by reading a book. Because when you read a book, you're done, you put it away, and then you forget a few days later because you're not taking the action. Like I told you my friend's story, right? No action for 30 plus years and is still sitting on an idea. So idea stays in your mind. In this world, the things happen twice. Once in your mind, and then you make that reality that the physically it happens, So like, for example, the car was produced just like that. It's somebody's idea. It's come to somebody's mind that we should have a vehicle like that, and then it was implemented. So don't forget to implement your ideas. Get on board with the right team, or find the right partners who to work with, and we are always there to answer any questions. Please feel free to reach out, and we do have a very good mastermind program and also the marketing team that can help you excel wherever you are in your career. Since there's no more questions, so I'm going to say thank you for being there and showing up fully. This wasn't just a masterclass, I would say. This was a blueprint that we gave you guys today. And if you implement even one little thing out of this, or one little move, I would say magnetic move, it's going to accelerate your career, or it's going to take you closer towards to your goals. So once again, thanks again, everyone. I would say stay bold, stay intentional, and keep making those magnetic moves at this time. Bye for now.